Okay, so I have been putting this off for some time, and it's actually quite embarrassing to say, but I haven't done a proper tarot reading for myself almost a year ago. I think it was around September of last year, around my birthday, that I gave myself a proper tarot reading, and this is insane because I do tarot readings every single day or almost every single day of my life, but I haven't really looked within in a very long time. So I want to take you on this very personal vlog with me where I will do a Celtic spread, which is like a general reading about myself. What am I not looking at? What things should I be really paying attention to? And kind of explain the whole structure and how I analyze the cards and how I do my personal practice, which honestly I have not been doing for quite some time. I will be going up the mountain where I regularly go. For me, it's a place of power. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have privacy and there won't be other people there. And I'll be explaining why I got to this point, why I pack my bag. I think it'll be more unpacking my bag, and this video would definitely be more of unpacking and opening myself in a very vulnerable way, which makes me a bit nervous, but I think I need this just to show that we're not perfect and that sometimes even us tarot readers are a bit scared to look at ourselves, and I personally have felt a bit scared to look at myself. So come unpack with me and pack the cards while I tell you how I got to this position and this place. A few days ago, I dreamt about being inside a submarine that kept lowering itself deeper and deeper with no clear way out. I could only visualize myself swimming upwards, desperate to catch some air, terrified that this was the end. The longer I kept the latch closed, the harder it became to swim back to the surface. Which made me think, the longer I sustain structures of repression, the harder it becomes to return to my essence, to that natural and essential part of my soul. But what even is that essence? I sometimes tell myself that I'm living authentically, but am I really? Why am I scared to look into the mirror that is tarot? Am I afraid of what will be reflected back at me? That my dreams and desires are only sandcastles, capable of collapsing at any moment? That my purpose has changed and I simply have not admitted it yet? I have to look into myself. I must step back onto the hermit's path, illuminate these shadows, and shine light into the dark, vast world of my unconscious. These monsters cannot kill me, they make me stronger. I have done this before and I can do it again. Time for another dip. So I have my little rugged place already set up, but this is it, very simple. Very dirt sorcery kind of vibes. Just nice and simple in a place I really like being with my tarot cards and myself. And while I was walking here, I was also pondering the fact that this is nice because even though I'm here by myself in the forest, well, not by myself, I'm with the earth spirits, the tree spirits, the land spirits, and the spirits of the mountain, which I really like in this place and has always been kind of like a catalyst for transformation. I have you guys with me to confront my shadows, and so it doesn't feel that scary knowing that I'm sharing this experience with you guys. So now I think I'm going to sit down for a bit, take some breaths, just like really connect with myself in the space before I start doing the reading. Guides, spirit guides, and ancestors, and my highest self, guide me through this reading to look within. We will be doing a general reading using the Celtic cross spread to understand, to look within, to become wiser, and to shine a light into the unknown. Where am I presently right now? You've got two cards here. Okay, we definitely have a hefty reading here. Oh my god. How can I begin this? Okay, well, through the same structure. I like to always look at an overview of the reading anyways. What am I seeing? I'm seeing lots of swords. Strangely enough, I'm not seeing much earth. I'm only seeing the Seven of Pentacles and the Empress card. It is always a bit nerve-wracking to do a reading for yourself. It is always a bit nerve-wracking to look within, but here we go. In the present, I see Queen of Cups and the Emperor. These two cards do really talk about a position where I'm seeing in this Queen of Cups, I kind of do see myself, and it's funny, I'm actually positioning my hand like this, like she is, where it's right now, my emotions are definitely ruling a very big part of what I pay attention to, where I invest my energy. A bit of wisdom, this Queen of Cups. It represents an intuitive connection with my emotions and honoring my emotions. And I have been quite in that space where I feel these tides of emotions, sometimes positive, sometimes not. And I really try to sit with it. I try to not push them away. And recently I've been trying to be very present back in my body and finding where these emotions lay. But then we also have this Emperor energy of which really dictates a bit of this sense of creating structures. I've been really trying to stay on track with my schedule through work, times I have free, what times I have for content creation, and just like overall create these spaces of structure. So it's quite a very interesting balance of, yes, you know, space for romanticism, space for my romantic connection, and connecting also with like this nurturing aspect of mine, and really letting my emotions flow. But then there's also this controlling side, which really resonates with my dreams, that I kind of like, even though I let my emotions flow, I do try to, I do repress a lot of them. I don't fully express what I am feeling. And also, more than repressing my emotions, I create a lot of like these structures, and I try to put everything in like these blocks or like these concepts, and like try to set in stone and try to like control them, right? To bring them down, for them to not be too much, to not let myself exude, or to not let myself be a cup that's completely full, right? I try to keep under control. So it's like I am kind of like in both of like shifting through both of these aspects of my Queen of Cups feminine and my masculine Emperor, but it could kind of be contradictory. And I do feel these contradictory energies of times of just like creative flow and just feeling and just feeling this pure love and emotion, and then this other part of me of like structure, work hard. No, don't overwhelm yourself with emotions. Focus back on yourself. You have the schedule, follow the schedule. My obstacle is the Six of Cups. Definitely I'm sensing the Six of Cups is always quite nostalgic to me. Six always does represent like emotional success, or like, you know, emotional fulfillment and sharing, and, you know, like this beautiful sharing. But it's quite my obstacle because I think I am held back sentimentally of fully giving in to my current partnership, or fully surrendering to all the intense emotions that I'm feeling due to my past. Due to my past experiences, I have a lot of doubts. I have a lot of fears that hold me back from truly surrendering to these emotions, to really surrendering to what I'm feeling and what I want, from my own sentimental relationship and connection and my emotions, because of, I've had bad experiences in the past where were particularly, no, one, maybe two, but in different ways, where I just felt that when I really opened up, I was kind of met with a wall. And then the other experience where I really opened up and we really took that next step in the relationship and things of that nature, it became controlling, and it kind of like closed off a lot of the things that I wanted and experiences, and I kind of like shut my dreams down. And I do see kind of like that past experience, but I know that the star is there shining down, knowing that they weren't meant to be there. I was a bit of a dreamer in a good way, because being this dreamer and like this very vulnerable person led me to connect with deep parts of my soul, deep parts of my emotion, and it led me to experiences which have made me so much wiser in my relationships and the way that I connect. But I also have created so many structures with this emperor that I sometimes hold back. And so let's look at the subconscious, which has been quite interesting because of the dreams I've been having lately, which really accentuate kind of like these feelings of like repressing emotions or being overwhelmed by emotions, or kind of like this structures and militant energy of just like taking things from me. And how can I say, it's just like it's been a very overwhelming dreams I've been having lately. About, there's one of the submarine, there's also the one that I had this morning of like protecting the space from being taken over by a regime that is very controlling. So, you know, there is like these emperor figures in my dreams, which I think are, honestly, they feel like they are me. It's kind of like this very Virgo part of me that could be quite militant. And I also have my Saturn is in Aries, and Saturn is in Aries right now. I'm in my Saturn return. So there is like this very structured, militant energy of like becoming this adult. But that sometimes a lot of like these structures and like it's repressing and giving me like this sensation of when will I really release the latch of the submarine so I can be exposed, but will it kill me in the process? Am I already in too deep to release the latch? Wow, a lot of things. And there's like that high priestess there in the subconscious, which is I do have the keys and the ways to get in touch with a bit of like these limiting ideas and factors that I have. I am creating a lot of like limiting ideas, but they're all in my head. I can take the blindfold off. I can see the situation for what it is. I just have to communicate and express it and release. Just because things happened in the past, it doesn't mean that they're going to continue to happen in the future. That this time things could be different. You know, I don't have to jump to conclusions. I don't have to jump to things, but I can talk about things that I've been going through and feeling, you know, with my partner that I have right now, with my friends, with people. I can find ways to talk about these things because I feel that actually I don't talk about them. Now that I come to think of it, I haven't had people who to talk these things with, because most of the time I'm spending it with my partner or working and just working on myself, going to the gym, making this content creation, which I love, but then I'm not really creating these spaces for myself, which I am now, and creating content at the same time. Funny enough. Definitely, I think I have a lot of repressed things, and I'm repressing this Eight of Swords, and it's now becoming quite like this thing that is becoming claustrophobic and that I kind of want to release myself from. And I could, and I have the tools, the High Priestess. I have my intuition. My intuition is guiding me, like my connection with my dreams, which have been so intense. I've been trying to communicate this. I have this King of Wands in my conscious mind. High fly, huge fly. King of Wands in my conscious mind. This is definitely like this creative vision. And today I really felt this King of Wands. And I started writing and writing and writing. And it just felt like all these questions and words and things, and like this beautiful desire to write. I wrote like 4 pages came to me, which I really enjoyed. And then I'm like, oh, this could really become interesting content for today's video. It's so honest, it's so raw, and I want to connect with this artist that I have within myself through writing and create something that feels authentic, that feels raw, that doesn't require AI to make text or things be perfect and to have perfect hooks and call to actions, but to really just connect with my own creative energy and to play with it like I am now and just enjoy it. And I feel like I am in like this very nice creative space. And some guidance. Here we see also the 7 of Pentacles, which is of like communicating or like really bringing to the consciousness the parts of my work that feel unfulfilling. feel that I am, there are crops that I'm growing and sustaining and they feel sustainable and they give, and I'm so grateful that I'm capable of making a living off tarot, which is something I love. But I know that a part of me wants something else, which is something that I also need to accept, which I think it's more in the lines of this, of content creation, because a part of tarot doesn't satisfy, or at least maybe it's the media, maybe it's on TikTok, that it feels now like work, which I do with a lot of love, but that I feel that I'm not helping to my biggest potential in that space. Because I feel like I talked about this in my latest video, which you can click right here. I talked about the fact that tarot and like these quick tarot readings can feed a bit of like the anxiety, can feed a bit of a kind of toxic aspect inside to tarot. And I want to reconnect with esotericism and the occult in a way that feels that it's building something for me and the community that I want to build. I want to build a community that feels meaningful, that is curious, that really wants to better themselves, and not like in just like to be productive or to be a productive member of society, but to be a connected member of society, connected with ourselves, with our shadows, and having tools to make sense of these shadows, or at least to experience them. And, I think I have the capacity to communicate this. I have the capacity to transform it. The energy that's surrounding me, 10 of Wands, it really shows that pressure that I put on myself. It really shows a lot of the things that, I think I'm carrying too much weight, but it also says something about the 10 of Wands. It's like, okay, we're almost about to reach a certain place, so keep pushing. I like to think of the 10 of Wands as like when you're at the gym and you're doing a lot of weight, but it's like those last reps that really matter. 10 of Wands. It's the last reps that really matter. I know that I'm doing a lot of stuff right now, but keep pushing. You're going to make it. And my fears is of losing my creativity, of losing my passion, this Ace of Wands, of losing my potential of being optimistic, of losing my optimism, of losing the potential as an artist. Because the only thing I've had sure as a child is that I wanted to be an artist. I think now I've noticed a very multi-layered and multifaceted artist that makes videos, that reads tarots, that writes, and maybe explore other mediums as well. Because I always create all of these structures. Oh, I'm bad at this. Oh, I'm not good at that. When I can be making all of these things, maybe get back into acting, which I know I've been holding myself back on trying acting. And the final outcome, or like looking, kind of like how I'm doing right now, if I don't change, if I don't express, I think I would just be anxious and stuck in my head, not processing my emotions, not processing my dreams, not processing my subconscious pools, and then being kind of like overwhelmed and actually creating distance from myself and my connection to the earth and to others if I don't open up, if I let my past experiences mandate my future. And the final outcome is 10 of Swords and the Empress. Something needs a bit of closure. Something needs to die within myself. Maybe it's that judgmentalness. I'm being very judgmental. Maybe it's that holding back so much before expressing. Maybe it's that holding back on new experiences and new ways of expressing my art and myself, and creating more spaces to be nourishing, to be authentically, to connect with my Cancer Venus, which is caring and loving and doing things slower, more mindfully, but with more love. Not rushing just to create, just to post and make things, but really build something that is substantial, that is real, that feels authentic, that feels made with love. But with that, I have to kill a part of myself. A part of myself that maybe just wants to be productive for productive sake, and not like really creating spaces for creation, for authentic creation that take time. I wanted to add this other part because today I finished reading a Substack article by Jungian alchemist. I'll probably link it down below, called The Transformative Potential of Dreams and How to Harness It. And there was like this part, and you might be asking, why dreams? Well, thanks to my dreams, I'm doing this reading. Thanks to my dreams, I'm making this video. And I always like to think of interpreting tarot, kind of like interpreting dreams. It's like this oniric symbolism. It's always a bit odd and not quite direct. And he says, experience transforms because it is lived, not merely understood. A piece of information rarely has the same effect. Therefore, when working with dream images, the key to transformation does not lie in deciphering some kind of hidden message, but in the experiencing those images, bringing them into life. We obtain the experience that our unconscious wants us to live. And I think that also goes with tarot, which is tarot is transformative in the experience more than in the information it reveals. It is in the experience of living the tarot, the emotions, the images, the experiences that come from it, even the discomfort. It's a bit uncomfortable to look at some cards, but it is the experience that transforms, at looking at the uncomfortable parts of us, the parts that are holding us back, the parts that are scared, to connect with our intuition, to connect with that loud voice that wants us to change and shift, because it means that we need to step out of our comfort zone at times. Okay, I will finish this video. It's already been far too long. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and for being with me during this period of deep self-reflection. I had a lot of fun making this video, and in the post-production, making all of these little cutouts and like drawing these things for this video, and I really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Remember to like the video, subscribe. You have all my socials down in the info box, as well as the possibility if you want to be part of my membership, where you can read all the things you can acquire there. Or also, if you want a reading with me, you can check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you soon. Bye.